Hey, welcome back to the three-step money reset. This is step two, the where, as in where's it all going? So after adding data to those six components, you should be seeing what you're seeing on this screen, just your numbers. Here's a sample client. We've got some good data in here. We have someone making $150,000 a year, $25,000 bonus. That's conservative for them. We've got them saving 5% into their 401k tax deferred. There is a 3% match from their company. They're also saving $500 a month into a savings account. That's $6,000 a year. They're also doing a backdoor Roth, and they're maxing that out. Next up, they've got expenses. That's what we're going to figure out today. They've added some family members, 2-year-old, spouse, goals at the 65 age of retirement. You'll see that since we added a child, boom, a college goal pops up. So let's go back to the net worth page where you linked your accounts. You can click on them and see, all right, this is a bank account. This person also has investments that break down to their current 401k, their traditional IRA. They have some Roth money for their backdoor Roth, and they also have a taxable brokerage account. That's after-tax money that could be invested or sitting in the money market. If you click into them, they'll have holdings. So this person has some mutual funds and some different ETFs. Pretty sweet. That's going to translate into investment projections based on the actual holdings that you have. So it's not some BS, oh, you're going to get 8%, 9%, 10%. No, based on your actual investments, this is the projected rate of return for your overall portfolio, which I think is super valuable. So what I want you to click on is dashboard. You obviously noticed you have a brand new view now of probability of success, aggregate of your accounts down here, how they're going to be taxed in the future. This amber color is a bit of a red flag, just a heads up that the money in that account kind of has an asterisk. It has not been taxed yet. So if you end up with 5 million in that account, it's going to be really tough to be in a lower tax bracket. We also have a high level balance sheet over here. We've got a total effective tax rate. This person lives in Florida, has no state income tax. So if you're thinking that's low, that's why. Net worth, asset projections. But here's what today is all about. Today's all about transactions, budgeting. Hate that word, but we need to know where the money is going. So I want you to click on budget, and you're going to see 4 tabs: summary, activity, transactions, and budget. We're actually going to start with activity, and what I want you to choose is last month. The system's going to pull in 3 months of transactions. I just want you to go to last month. If we hover here, this person spent $9,810. We're going to find out where the money went. So now we're going to click on transactions. You'll see we've got all this person's transactions. Now, they only linked a checking account. So there's only one account that's reporting. If you link 3 checking accounts and 5 credit cards, you're going to have transactions from 8 accounts all coming into one place. Super efficient, and give us an opportunity to really lock in and see where the money's going. So I've already updated all the categories, but you'll see that, let's say this water bill comes in, it doesn't say water as category, it says shopping. You're going to click here, you're going to choose the category, and you're going to be able to change it to water. Then you can save, and we've got it. That was $68.89. That number is going to now come over to the budget, and you'll see if we scroll down to water, bang, $69 for water in the month of September. I've already categorized everything. So you're going to see now in this budget that we've got a whole bunch of gray areas here. Gray to color, not gray as in confusing. And the September monthly spend, this is what we're looking at last month, as it's October 21st, 2025. Dining out, $125, fitness, $354, gas and electric, $413. We've got some real data, some real numbers coming in across multiple cards and bank accounts. So back to transactions. Let's wrap this up. So your transaction descriptions are going to look a little bit crazier. I changed them all, so it's much easier to read. You don't have to do that. The only thing to change is the category. So where are we going with this? Well, first we can update the categories. Let's say you don't do fitness. You want to show horseback riding. You can click on this wheel click on settings, and budget categories pops up. You can change, maybe you want to change bedding to gardening. I can click the check mark and bang, now we've got a gardening category, all right? Right here. We'll jump back to dashboard, then budget. So now we've got the activity, the total activity of 9810. We've got transactions where we're going to categorize everything. And we've got the budget that we can look at the end. That's going to show us where all the money's going. We don't tell our members, hey, this is where you should be spending your money, or like, what are you doing spending $1,100 on shopping? This is personal stuff. It's really for you to determine, oh my gosh, I have spent $2,700 on Uber Eats. Man, I knew I was spending a lot of money on Uber Eats. I did not know it was $2,700. That's an area that I want to focus on. So look to get some takeaways for yourself in this area. Awareness is key in order to make improvements. And we think we know, but we really don't until we actually dig in. This whole process should take no more than 10 minutes. If I scroll to the bottom, there's 5 pages of 20 categories each, 100 transactions, 5 minutes, 6 minutes once you get in the groove. If you think you might be missing some stuff, I want you to click on all expenses and then go to transfer. Transfer is where you're sending Venmos, sending Zells, maybe people are sending you money. You can now go in and say, hey, this wasn't a transfer, that's not being counted. This was actually a shopping expense. This Zelle down here was actually my cleaning crew that comes to my house. I'm going to change that to house cleaning. If you come to budget and you've got a lot of miscellaneous expenses and you're like, oh man, what's miscellaneous? Go back to transactions, go straight to miscellaneous, and you're going to get a long list of all your miscellaneous. You can start recategorizing right there. It's kind of a fun starting point, just digging into one group of transactions. What about income? Well, you're getting direct deposits, however you get paid. You can click on this expenses area and you'll go down to all income and you'll see 2 direct deposits. You can name them. Maybe one was your bonus. Maybe one was your regular pay. So I would come in here and say, oh, this was my annual bonus. Save it. So how does this fit into our planning? So when you come back to activity, you're going to see $9,800 out. Let's click on income. So $19,400. However, there was an annual bonus, so that's not a monthly thing. That's going to be part of our total annual income. So our net income for the month was almost $10,000, $9,600. So the way I want you to think about this is, in your budget, you had your mortgage payment, $2,200. So if I go back to the profile, you'll see that I already have my mortgage payment in here. I've got $2,200 and I've already counted that. So we don't want to double count things. So we're going to take that $9,500 that you spent in the month. We're going to subtract the mortgage of $2,200, and that's going to give us $7,300 of leftover expenses. What we have to do now is go into expenses and punch in $7,300. Click save. Your homework's done. If you want to see how it all worked out, see if you're missing anything, click on my favorite spot, retirement, and you'll see if this is actually making sense. Salary comes in, that's base salary plus annual bonus. You got living expenses plus housing expenses. You've got taxes accounted for, and you've got your savings of the 401k and the Roth IRA, a net negative cash flow of $1,680. That's pretty darn close, okay? So really good starting point. What we're looking to find is a big negative here or a big positive there. Where's the missing money? Where could I be going? Why do I have credit card debt? How much more money could I be saving that I'm leaving on the table just because I'm completely out of touch with my monthly transactions? Any questions? Shoot us an email. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow.